Who will speak for the fruit abundant in the summer harvest? This guy on the corner of San Gabriel and First, wearing his red baseball cap backward, salutes us with a bag of silent cherries and leaps into traffic with a jaunty hand. Who will speak for the crates of oranges ripened on the tree, for the great waves of zucchini trucking to the markets, and when the markets turn them away, for the workers who take in these fruity orphans and lift them up on each summer corner like a flag, like a shield, like some dangling offer of surrender, in median strips, beside shut Volvo windows, along the routes of our endlessly going, these orphans and these vegetables, these fruits and these orphans, in our country, in our America, with supplications, with foreign mouths, with winnowing eyes and with calloused hands, every day ripening on every corner. Who will speak for this abundance, this crop of summer that no one is buying? Will you speak, or will I? I to Icarus after reading Leviticus. Don't be cynical. Even if you jump from that window, there will be a moment before end stop that feels like flight. A man in the house beside you is dying and he knows it. A woman in the house beside you is holding a warm cup of coffee to her hair. And you are expertly emptying the sink. The air smells of egg and old potato. O Abraham, O Icarus, you are bound, you bind, you are bird. The goldfinch in the camellias comes in close as a fairy. Her light little feet just barely settle there and there, while the whole clouds bellow overhead, and in the living room, a woman is writing beside the window. There is a man who will die and he knows it, she pens. There's a man who will die and he knows. There is a man who will die and he knows too, to take off, to take off, to take off. One day by Lake St. Catherine's shore, we watched the swallows hunt and dive, the cold wind whipping around us. Their swift companionship at wing, their heads thrown together in the free fall. In a whole-bodied drop, they'd give it all in the swoop and plunge to fill the hunger aching inside. Rise and drop and float and flap and rise, impossible colors, purple, green, and blue. Our small cocoon was wrapped in his yellow blanket, a grub who feeds no hunger but his own, wiggling between us. Your wings are further from me now. The hunt is carrying us away. I will give anything to this drop, this fall. We lie near the ground, trying to stay out of the wind, close to each other, anyhow, anyway. How did we end up in this perversion of hunger? How did we end up in this steep drop with each other? I once knew a man who was a bird, a man who kneeled in my kitchen, who turned away from repairing something or someone to say, once I did what shamed me. I drove under the influence of love and sorrow, and when the police, they caught up to me. When the police, they came to me, I sprouted wings and flew to Mexico. So many things I'm ashamed of. And I could have said something to him. I could have laid a hand on his cheek, but his toolbox and my checkbook stood between us, and I didn't speak. Ode to the Muse of Self-Doubt. Oh, my Gabriel with 1,000 eyes, whose wings cover your human eyes, you're weeping. Don't weep. Your doubts, just gossamer, silver. Your doubts are wax and feather wings. Your doubts cannot break me. I see them for what they are, a tunnel, a vestibule, a room. I too am weary, tired of not finishing. The iron chain of sad possibilities stinks of metal and blood. Your chains are not my chains. You do not slave me. I love you human-like, even though you are an angel on a stair, and there is everywhere in our anywhere this vapid and vapory air. Icarus to Leviticus to me. Forget your rules. The world is gold and umber, is holiness alone toward which all rules point. Let my fall be your festival. Every bird freezes and dies. The young will hunt, the old will always settle. The young will settle, the old will always hunt for another way. On the lake St. Catherine, the waves hiccup and continue. The wind stirs every face, not just mine. A child rises in the morning, and now he is a man. There is no end to it. The whispers still crackle out of the 8,000-year-old book like a radio filled with snow. The world is spring and fall, and when it ripens, every seed falls open. Then it is summer, then again spring. The will to weigh, to find the way, will not waver. Set a wing to the world, set a wing to the word. Now go. No, word, don't go. Now stay. Until it bitters, a Jacob's ladder. You know how tea sweetens gradually until it bitters? There are so many apples to peel, pink ladies and Romes, the fragile Honeycrisp. Remember when they were all just delicious? I gather and fold the linens. I'm always setting the table and then eating beside the chair. Books tend toward their own new babbles. They murmur in stacks from the floor. In the life I live alone, I do not live. These babbles are the busyness of people, the people about their business and mine and yours. These babbles are not where I'm living. Instead, installed here, I live with you, bee. And the night unfolds its origami, the special paper chain known as Jacob's ladder. We wrestle our angels to the ground. Night laps in through the window frame, unwelcome as it makes itself at home. We unmake every gesture. The pots are soiled, then cleaned. This albatross, these ablutions, this lying down beside one another. When we wake, anything could happen. I mean, how tea sweetens gradually until it bitters. I mean, like dawn. The August river shrivels up and dries, dives into leaves and never tumbles out. In stale, hot air, it hears the summer lie, this is the end, and nothing green gets out. In spring, the river swells too deep to move, so full of cold it overflows its sides, to eat the wet dirt with a hungry mouth and swallow whole what winter let survive. Most times, the river's river, running fast and sleek and clear, it tumbles on, exhaustless, cold and clean and free of hope, and endless leaving all can count upon. But this is also river, gravel worn to pebbles, round and smooth, no gouge or fret. The leaf that getting caught will rot to peat. The rock that turns backwater like regret. Thank you all very much.